Good morning. It's November 23rd, 2024, and it's the Wall Street Weekly Wrap-Up with your host, John Newquist. And somebody said I'm really looking pale today. I don't feel pale, but, I don't know. I didn't use any makeup. I look whiter, but let's get into the market. It was a ugly week, but it was a good week when you look at the heat map. That's all you have to remember. How did it do at the end of the week? Because the king of all stocks, NVDA, reported. It beat by 6 cents, beat on revenues, and here's the number one thing that you got to remember with NVIDIA. The Blackwell will exceed supply. They can't meet the demand for several quarters. Could you imagine going to McDonald's and said, I'd like a Big Mac? And they said, no, we made all the Big Macs for the next 2025 year and 2026 year. So you can put an order in for a Big Mac in 2027. You'd go crazy. This is what NVIDIA's got. He's not going to gouge him. He's going to put a fair value on his Blackwell chips. Revenue went up 93%. That's a big number. Now remember, the quarter before it was 122% growth, so it slowed down. This got people to sell some of the stock. And this is what people who are momentum traders don't like, is what it will be next quarter. 70%? But I just said, listen, it's selling. It's sold out. That's what you want. I have a restaurant and my reservations for 2025 and 26 are sold out. Wow, don't you want a stock like that? I don't give a crap if it's $441. Man, it'll double by the end of 2026. Man, that's an incredible story. Now the Blackwell chip has to perform, and there's some negatives. Delays, the servers overheat, customers not have enough time to get the data centers up and running, blah, blah, blah. Listen, I'm watching the Blackwell going to a chip in an AI center, the best in the country. We'll see if it overheats. Here's your typical server rack. You're going to have all these things inside it. Over here is going to be the Grace Hopper in this case, but it'll be the Blackwell version of the chip. These things are heat. It's like your iPhone stacked upon 10 iPhones on a hot summer day. A lot of heat. You got to have ventilation. I honestly, don't know enough about the technology why we don't have chilling temperatures of like 20 degrees, no moisture in that server area. I don't know. Maybe there's a reason. Maybe that's in the future, but that's how you keep this stuff cold. I mean, I have, ice pack that I can put my phone in when it's hot and the battery's running warm. I can put it in this ice pack. It's not going to touch the ice. It's going to touch the pack, and it keeps my phone nice and cold and very, very efficient. This is what you're going to have to deal with. And they're putting a lot of ventilation in, but I just don't know if the room temperature is really the solution. I think you have to go down some. All right, that's just my 2 cents. Walmart, oh my God, the king of retail. Them and Amazon. Beat by 5 cents. Earnings, 58 cents. It went up 5.5. This chart is just phenomenal. It's getting a little pricey. 200-day moving average here. It's way above the 50-day moving average right here. We're going to get a pullback. And when you do get that pullback, every so often, at the 50-day moving average, that might be your time to buy. So if it gets down from 90 to about 82, then you might want to nibble on it. It's pricey now. It's pricey, but this is a stock. You think about it. Oh, in January it was 56, and now we've almost doubled it. Well, not almost doubled, 80% up, but only 80% up. That's not so bad. The indicators, the basis point.
This is a reminder. How will my portfolio do in 5 months?
It'll be up. New
This
year,
is a reminder.
new game.
How will my portfolio
Yeah, I
do
heard
in
you,
5
Alexa.
months?
We'll talk about it. We're getting there. The interest rates. We've had 2 cuts since September, and the interest rates are not below 3. Inflation is stubborn. And crude oil, 71%. Again, the fact that Russia threw a ICBM at Ukraine and killed people gets more people nervous. A lot of rattling sabers and everything else. And we don't know what's going to happen. But I'll tell you what, Ukraine ain't gonna roll over. And Russia ain't got the troops to go in there and take it over. So it's a matter of where you draw the line and call it a day. Natural gas. Remember, it used to be always below 3, and now it's up. And I think it's going to be a colder winter than normal. You know, maybe I'm wrong. We'll have to see. Gold coming back up. You know, people are getting more nervous and stuff like that. And silver up at 31 bucks. Copper still stubborn. That tells you the economy's slow. We're just a little bit above 4. Ideally, 450 is a good, strong economy for the world. China, not so good. Coffee, oh my God. If you don't have coffee reserves like me, I got 6 months backed up. I mean, I think coffee is in a short supply. People are drinking it. It's better. A lot of different flavors. I hate to say, I mean, they're putting out a new flavor every 2 weeks. And that's good. I mean, they're not bad flavors. They're not like, oh, I don't like this. Chocolate mocha peppermint bark. Wow. You're just thinking, this is like liquid candy, and it's really good. Oh. Here we are. NASDAQ composite. Oh, we're back up there, 25%. NASDAQ's still pushing away. And again, look at the Russell 2000. Better than the Dow now. Remember, this was like at zero. Now we're up 18%. The small cats like the low interest rate. You remember, these are a lot of companies with debt, so you know, anytime you lower the interest rate, they're all going to benefit. Again, another commodity I just put up there is orange juice. Look at this, record high. Wow. Now, I'm not a big, I mean, I drink orange. I rather eat oranges than drink the orange juice. You know, that's just me. But man, that's a lot of money, and it's getting expensive. And would you imagine a big freeze in Florida, Georgia, and the citrus crop goes up there? This thing could go parabolic up. So, you know, a lot of people doing it, and you can't really hoard orange juice. You can hoard frozen orange juice if you don't mind. Look at this. I get the portfolio. I did a little bit different on the Schwab thing, and of course, you know, I got the 43.75%. Now I track the S&P 500 since the year to date. That's pretty amazing. I mean, there's no way, unless the techs completely collapse. The difference between myself and the other partners, we have different numbers for like NVDA, JP Morgan, Nextera. You know, they're not exactly the same number. So I just finally used my portfolios, and you know, because it's been you know, Robbie, 30 years of portfolio tracking. Remember, all that matters is what you did from January 1st. I don't want to hear about, oh yeah, you did 30% last year. I mean, I'll brag about it, but or 33% last year. But the idea is that, you know, if you're following us, you want to do good the next year. You don't want to hear about all the great stories that, oh yeah, you missed the rise and we did good. That's not fair. I start the portfolio every January 1st, or really 2nd, and that's our year. And what we did the last 10 years doesn't really matter, because if you're investing in it, you want to be in there. I'm in there new. It's always a risk. We're way above the industry average. We're the best in the country of anybody that posts the returns like I do on YouTube. The best. Better than any portfolio manager by Morningstar. And you're talking hundreds of portfolio managers. So you deal with it. You know, I'm no guarantee that it's going to be that way next year. But again, we weighted. Remember, we don't have equal weight in all these stocks. You know, the big companies that we have, we stuck with. We're not selling like these guys on, you know, the Squawk Box and everybody else. Oh yeah, I flipped it for 10% profit. No, I don't like paying thousands of dollars of capital gains like I did last year to take some of this off the table. That's just painful. I mean, you talk, oh, here you are, you know, thousands of dollars for selling out. I was like, you know what, I'll just take it and I'm going to run it, you know, because I don't need to take it. But man, that's a lot of money. When you just sit there and you write that check, yeah, tell me about flipping it. You got a professional money manager, they do it, you're flipping the stocks right and left, 50 stocks traded a week, go ahead. We haven't traded in a couple months, you know. I mean, it's just a state. I mean, that's it. You know, how can we do this? We're not trading one time in the last 4 weeks, and we're killing the market. We're killing it. For anybody that's diversified in our 14 sectors. I mean, we're not talking about we just invested in, you know, the Magnificent 7. We're talking about we're in all the sectors, and we're beating it. So just remember that. That's our goal. And it's not because, you know, we're lucky. It's because we've been doing this for a long time. And I got to show you something. Let me go find this thing here. You know, you're supposed to have it ready. But, you know, I found my 1994 S&P earning guide, you know, and I highlighted, let's see if I can find some of these stocks here. You know, uh-oh.
This is a reminder. When do you take profits in Bitcoin?
We take profit. We're probably looking at 180,000. Take some off the table.
This is a reminder.
Okay.
When do you take
Well, look at this. This is
profit
every
from
stock.
Bitcoin?
You can't read this. This is micro penny. I almost had that magnified. But this is all the stuff back then. You know, everything was paper. There was no digital anything, and you had all the earnings. And this is what I was doing. I looked at the quarter-to-quarter earnings. I want to buy stocks that are increasing earnings. We don't want to buy stocks, I don't want to pick on Apple, that have really been stagnant in earnings for the last few years. We want to buy stocks that are increasing earnings. That's how we picked up NVDA. That's how we picked up other companies. So some sectors, like cyclicals, like energy, not going to be that way. Again, the election cycle, you know, I always remember buying the Richard Love's super performance stocks based on the election cycle. But generally, you know, the stocks do go good. You know, I mean, if you look at a 4-year jump, you know, went up in Reagan, then the Bush years and stuff, it went down. It went up to 294. No, don't look at it as negative. We have to get back into the second Bush, W, where it dropped and then it dropped again. You know, then when Obama took over, it went up to 1,400, 2,200. Biden went, Trump went up. It all went up. So, you know, if I just, you know, the chart I can use goes back to 2012. That's a pretty nice solid chart. I mean, again, I always look at the 200-day monthly average. That's not so bad, you know. But again, look at this. 2020, 2023 hit the 50-day moving average. So, you know, if we...
This is a reminder. Ask how high will ExxonMobil go in 5 years?
I think ExxonMobil will be $1 trillion company.
This is a reminder. Ask how high will ExxonMobil go in 5 years?
Okay, we'll talk about it. But, you know, like I said, we could go from 595 to 450. I'm thinking, again, we're going to get a 5% correction in the S&P 500 to 20% by January 20th. I just think that's what will happen. I don't know what it'll be, when it'll be, but that's just my model. We'll see. Nobody says, no, it's going to be Santa Claus rally. Well, the more you think it's going to happen, sometimes the market's going to surprise you and pull the carpet out and you're going, you know. Target, oh my God, this company, you know, the discretionary, you know, this is where Walmart is different from Target. You go to Walmart, you don't have all these beach furniture and swimsuits and stuff. They do have it, but not as much. And again, Walmart was talking $100,000 consumers going to Walmart now. People making over $100,000, they're shopping at Walmart to get the deal because they're feeling a little squeezed, just as like a lot of people. Revenues grew. That's not so bad, but you know, they missed. And look at this thing. This thing tanked 150 down to 125. You know, I don't want to pick on the CEO, but this is not unusual. Look at these drops, you know. Earnings went up over here. Earnings went down like a rock over here. It jumped up. So if it follows up, down, next time it should be up. So if you want to play the up-down cycle target, it should be a lot higher than the next one. But how high are you going to do it? I mean, that's just heartburn if you own Target. Tesla, you know, look at this. This is an ugly chart. It goes down all the way down. We got down to about $140, and it shoots up to 260, comes back down to 200, and now we're at 325. You know, because he's got the Doge, you know, Department of Government Efficiency. He's going to be running volunteer, looking for people who work 80 hours a week with no pay. I says, well, that's going to get the best and the brightest to sit there and volunteer. What kind of nonsense is that? You're the richest man in the world. Why don't you just pick the 100, go out and pay them some decent wages, what they're worth, and you'll find out they might be able to find some stuff. Otherwise, who are you getting? Some college kid? Some 30-year-old person who lost his job and going to do work for 6 months free? Come on. But Tesla, it's a car company. The revenues went up there. Again, I hammer on this hype, and I don't want to beat him up because there's a lot of good things he's done with electric cars. PE's 96. Man, if you don't know anything about price, that's high. S&P, when it gets up above 20, it's starting to be high. When S&P's at 13, it's a good deal. You want to buy it? You know, are they number one leader in electric vehicles? Yes, but revenues are only 7-8%. They got the robot. Oh my God, let's buy the robot. But I'm at Amazon. They got the $250,000 robot. It's working. Theirs is not even for sale yet. And you know, you can talk about all you want. Amazon has got the robots doing the order picking. So you're not doing it. Talk about autonomous driving. Oh, we're going to do this. We're going to get changed. You know, they think, oh, he's going to get all the rules. Everybody can go out and do autonomous driving. Baidu, number one in China. Oh,
This is a reminder. How high can ExxonMobil go by 2030?
you just asked me, and I said it could be $1 trillion. Stop.
This is a reminder.
Alexa, stop.
How high can ExxonMobil go by 2030?
She don't care. She's going to tell me anyway. You know, this is an issue. Baidu's number one, and you go to Wuhan, China. It is amazing. I watch the videos over and over. It's perfect. San Francisco's got Waymo, which is a Google thing. It's working now. We're not going to wait till 2028. He's third. Third way tie for last, as I call it. That's not good enough. So, you want to buy it? You better have, iron stomach, because it's going to be a hell of a ride. Can he execute? He's proven with the electric vehicles, but he's behind. He's third. He's not even in the running yet. He's not even in the race. They've already taken off 2 years ahead of him. Is he going to catch up? Good luck. Bitcoin almost 100,000. Almost. We're up there at 98,000 today as I just potted it. Fear of missing out. FOMO. This is it. People are starting to sit there panic, thinking, oh my God, Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy are going to buy billions of dollars of Bitcoin. The ETFs are buying billions of dollars. You know what? You might want to start thinking about Ethereum, which is good. It's been used before for digital stuff. Solana, Cardano, all these other companies might be something you want to dip in. But this is hot. This is way too hot. And if you look at the price of Bitcoin versus Ethereum at the time, it's a big difference. They're all piling into it. It is almost like tulip mania. If this thing is going the way it could be, I think it's going to get 180, and we'll take some off the table. We bought it at 18, 16 when it collapsed, sold it at 27, 30, 50% profit in a few months. That's not so bad. Then we bought some more, and like I said, we started buying around here. And of course, we sat on that dead money, as I call it, but then it just took off, and now we're up like 40%, 50%. I think it's going to go to 180. When? In the next 12 months. Mark my words. You can come back to the video, see if I'm right, but I think it's going to go 180. There's just not enough of it right now, and all these big players are buying it. I mean, it's just amazing, and we'll see how much of digital gold everybody likes, I think it's good. You got to have some in your portfolio. Not too much, like 2%. Google, coming down because ChatGPT is going to do a server and going out there and make a nice browser that's going to knock out Google. Well, knock, ChatGPT, Google Advanced, Meta AI, Copilot, Audacity, Perplexity, they're already search engines. You search for an answer because you want it, and it gives you the answer. You don't do that on Google anymore. That's part of the market they're losing, and not a big part of the market. But what are they going to come in there? You're not going to knock out Google. People who use Google will still use Google. And will you switch to OpenAI? Maybe in 2030, but not now. I mean, he's got all these great ideas, but, you still got to implement, just like anything else. Google is 90-some% of the market. You're going to come in and knock Google off? Come on. Good luck. You got to get the thing to work. We are already seeing the AI searches take away from Google. But Google's in there. They got Google Advanced, and I like it. I pay for it. I've actually had people from Google ask me, you think ChatGPT is good for the paid? Yeah. A lot of them are all good. They're all, I use, all 6 of them, and you can get different answers. If you don't like the one, you can go back and pop it on another one. Sometimes, it doesn't work, but it's nice. And I use it every day. I show people what you can do with it, and they're just stunned. It saves me hours a week. It's like having a nice, competent assistant that does the work, and you just fix a couple of the errors, and you're ready to go. You got to write something, you just have them revise it, make suggestions, and voila. So, yeah, Google's going to be still in search. Still going to be a king of search. Don't knock the king off on rumors. That's the stupidest thing in the world. It could be years before ChatGPT even gets 10% of the market. So think about it. Don't worry about this stuff. Energy is our sector of our 14 sectors. I narrowed it down to the big ones because I like the big ones. ExxonMobil, they all kind of lost money. Devon is just kind of like an oddity. It's up 4%. Equity, which is natural gas distribution, just bought another pipeline, up 8%. But the XLE is choppy. The oil is at 70. All you got to remember, Exxon's CEO said we have $40 oil, we'll make money, and now it's at 70. They're making a lot of money, billions and billions of dollars. It's just incredible what Exxon, Conoco are making. Exxon is at 535 million market cap. In 2014, they were the number one stock. Now they're back to 2014 level. I think it's going to be trillion by 2030. It's going to double, which is hell of a number. 20% on average increase? Yeah. Pays a good dividend. We've been in Exxon a long time. That dividend gets raised every year. Conoco gets raised every year. They're buying Marathon. So, I didn't want to put down like 162 billion because when they had the Marathon acquisition, it's going to be up there. And but again, moving sideways, tracks the price of oil. Not a big deal. Southwest Gas, 5.5 billion market cap, 2.6%. I love the dividend stocks. They keep you in the ball game. They hedge your risk, but you're in them. You have to go look at it. And I want gas and I want oil. So these are good stocks to have. And we look at the highlight, despite all the negative, all the things, generally a pretty positive green week. I mean, you got that targeted into it. The government might do online filing for the other people. That's not Intuit's market. Geez, there are going to be people like me where I got to do my own taxes. I can't use no government software. There is no way the government's going to be able to do a sole proprietor business with all these write-offs and stuff and let you do it free. That's the pipe dream. Intuit, HR Block have been perfecting it for years. The person who files free with one W-2 is not Intuit's market. That's not even, probably 1% of their revenue. So let the government take that stuff and make it easy for some people. Again, Google's, down for the week. Lilly is kind of coming up. Lilly's getting to a point where I might, when we do our healthcare readjustment, probably in December, we're going to sell and pare it down. I might just sell a bunch of them and just buy more Lilly or buy into Lilly because GLP-1 is tough and Lilly's right up there. The kind of a quarter was a mess. The company explained it poorly, but you know what? They got the Alzheimer drug. They've got the weight loss drug. I mean, you're gonna give it to me at maybe $700. I may be buying it. I mean, it's gonna go up. The sales are strong. That's one of the ones you want to look at. Let's take a look at another ones over here. You look at the oils; they're all nice. Utilities are up. I mean, this is a pretty good chart. And I really don't see much done there. Even NVDA, all the crap they did, all the earnings broke even for the week. So again, Blackwell sold out for the next 2025 and 2026. That's all you have to repeat. You have a company that has sold out on demand. They're trying to add. Taiwan Semiconductor is trying to add capacity, but you know what? They're buying it as quick as they can because it works. And you can't imagine what Saudi Arabia or China or India or any of these big countries want to have this thing over here, So with that, I know it's kind of an odd week. I talked a little longer than I probably should, but have a good Thanksgiving, and I'll be back next week. Thank you.